Hello and welcome to the property news on Magic Bricks Now. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's take a look at the top headlines at this hour. After Karnataka, the Maharashtra government seeks to crack down on surge pricing by Ola and Uber. A proposal with stricter rules is in the works. Taxi unions say roll out new policy in 8 days or will strike. No odd-even scheme to decongest Mumbai in the near future. Mumbai civic body, the BMC, says it will need another 3 months to fine-tune its odd-even plan. Magic Bricks Now brings you exclusive details. Only 19,000 affordable homes have been constructed under the Prime Minister's Small Home Scheme till date. This a year after PM Modi rolled out his pet project, Housing for All. Magic Bricks Now gets you a report on how this ambitious scheme has fared. And home buyers of KUL Pune up in arms after fighting for their home for over 3 years. Buyers say enough is enough. They have now filed an FIR against the errant builder. Starting with our big focus on the property news, and Mumbai state government mulls a mega crackdown on surge pricing by leading online aggregators like Ola and Uber. Now, Transport Minister Diwakar Raute has in fact proposed new rules in a letter to CM Fadnavis. Magic Bricks Now asks, is this a move to woo local cab drivers? Where does that leave citizens like you and me? My colleague Ruchi Deshpande gets us more details.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is considering, it's actually mulling over a proposal that was passed in 2015, which was called the City Taxi Scheme of 2015. Now, if passed, the scheme will effectively remove all the surge pricing that private taxi aggregators like Ola and Uber are charging their customers at peak hours. So it means basically that if this is passed, this proposal will firstly ask Ola and Uber to register themselves as city taxi aggregators like the ordinary cabs in the Mumbai metropolitan region. Secondly, this proposal does not allow for surge pricing. So if passed, this will do away with that surge pricing clause that currently Ola and Uber are both using as of now. So when we spoke to the Maharashtra Transport Minister Diwakar Raute, he told Magic Bricks Now that the proposal has been sent to the Maharashtra Chief Minister. They are still considering it, and this will take some time before any call or any action is taken on the same.
Political leaders cutting across party lines back state government's plan to regulate online aggregators.
The truth is that, options like Uber and Ola and other that you have, these riding taxis, apps that have now become very, very popular, they do need regulation in the sense that these are disruptive elements in the market. They have their positive attributes in the sense that, more high quality cabs are now available to a user through a direct interface on a smartphone. But having said that, don't forget that the existing taxi network that you have is also a very critical part of urban transportation. Well, my personal view here is very straightforward. That surge pricing basically is that, hey, you pay more when it's a crowded environment where demand exceeds supply. As long as it is transparent, as long as the user knows that the pricing is rising because there are fewer cars available. So if you want to travel a certain distance, you have to shell out a lot more money.
When you see globally and when you see internationally, and also when it comes to India, it has to also be seen that it's a very fascinating system which is being given by Ola, Uber and other car operators. But when you compare with the local taxis also, you need to understand that these kinds of people are also has to be survived because they have been governed by the government. When you see the privatization of this particular system, you see a lot of lapses, like in the peak hour, the charges are more. Whereas you see the taxi peoples, they are not getting more charges. We have been governed by them, what has to be their tariff. And as there is an increase in the petrol or diesel, we give them that tariff right because they are all under registered by government of Maharashtra. When it comes to Uber and Ola, the same has to be applied. That is what the demand of the taxi people are there. We personally feel as an NCP that we have to balance it by protecting the taxi men also. We should also not forget the consumer is also benefiting. and the consumer is also ready to pay if the infrastructure is good. That is what we could see, and that is how a lot of people are getting attracted to Ola and Uber. But also it can't be kept random, because the prices what they shows are different, and when it comes to practicality, like not only in peak hour but in the night hours also, the prices go like anything. So it's a good move from the government that they are wanting to price him, but at the same time, if the consumer is ready, so they need to balance it. Proper infrastructures and proper car operators should be given up facilities which is the need of the hour and which the people are demanding.
We also caught up with the citizens of Mumbai and Pune and asked them what they think about the government's proposed rule. Listen in.
I think that's acceptable because even at peak hours I've seen, I've shared an Ola or I've taken an Uber pool, and it is pretty reasonable compared to a normal cab.
We are happy with Uber and Ola. They're giving services, especially in the transport areas, because auto walas and taxi walas are not up to the mark. So we definitely would like them to continue. The tariffs, what they are giving right now is privatized. So once it goes into government areas, the yellow and the black guys would stop arguing rather than putting it across. So it should be more into government areas, definitely.
I feel the decision taken by the government is wise regarding banning of the prime time, as there have been many students and the people earning a low income as well who are traveling through Uber and Ola. During prime time, due to the shortage of the cabs, they increase or hike the prices of the cabs. Hence, banning the prime time is a very wise decision. And what cabs can do in this case is they can increase the number of cabs basically during the prime time, where they at the time when they need to hike the prices. So this will also help them economically as well.
If we think about auto rickshaws and other traveling vehicles, we should think same for the Ola and Uber, because if they are charging high, it's not a good thing for customers' convenience. I think it's organized crime, because they know that they are the best way to go or travel for the customers, and they know that nowadays customers who travel don't think or don't opt to rickshaws and buses. So they are doing this purposefully, I feel.
To be honest, I was not expecting this to be done by the cabs like Ola and Uber, because when we take an auto rickshaw or when we take a taxi or something like that as a conveyance source, so that at that time we expect that we would be charged the minimum. That's why we turned to Ola, because auto rickshaws were charging high at those times when we needed it the most, like on the peak hours during the traffic times. But now if Ola and Uber are going to charge similar rates on prime times, then that this initiative is basically better, and to be honest, fair for all the auto rickshaws. It's going to benefit, because to be honest, it has to be fair. If we are going to abuse auto rickshaws, we have to abuse Uber also, and that's why the initiative is perfectly alright according to me.
We also caught up with local taxi drivers to find out more about the protests that they're planning 8 days from now against Ola and Uber.
मैं तो 12 साल से टैक्सी चला रहा हूँ, लेकिन अभी 2 साल में तो इतना फ़र्क गिरा है। पहला ओला उबर तो चल जाता था, अभी तो लोकल भी मारने लगे। तो अपने को क्या, टैक्सी वाले को क्या, अभी लोकल का गाड़ी लोग भी लेने लगे, तो इसके लिए टैक्सी वाले को बहुत तकलीफ हो गया मैडम।
बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है, हम लोग को भाड़ा मिलता ही नहीं है, खाली स्टेशन का भाड़ा है, बाकी कोई भी भाड़ा है ही नहीं। लोकल जो है खाली दादर, एलपी स्टैंड ये सब मिलता है, बाकी इसमें पैसा होता नहीं है। 20-20, 22-22 करके मार के कुछ बनता नहीं है। 100-200 भी हम लोग का निकलता ही नहीं है दिन में। पूरा दिन 12 घंटा 14 घंटा ड्यूटी करते, लेकिन पैसा नहीं बनता कुछ। देवेंद्र फडणवीस, प्लीज़ आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है, जो आप हमारे बारे में थोड़ा सोचिए, हमारे पेट के बारे में सोचिए, जो हमारा परिवार भी चले और हमारा भी चले, उनका भी चले, ऐसा कुछ ध्यान दीजिए कि दोनों को पेट भरे।
कोई भी कानून ऐसा हो ना, इंडिया परमिट है तो इनको जो है ना बाहर, जैसे टोल नाके से उधर दहशत साइड में उधर डालें, क्योंकि इंडिया परमिट है। हम लोग को तो इंडिया परमिट नहीं है, हम लोग को महाराष्ट्र डिवीज़न परमिट है, हम लोग कहाँ जाएंगे।
ओला उबर जो है, जो कंपनी चलाई है ठीक है, मानता हूँ इस बात को, लेकिन विदाउट मतलब परमिशन और कुछ टी परमिट दे करके वो कंपनी चला रही है। हम लोगों को पहले से परमिट ऑलरेडी निकाल करके उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है। ओला उबर कैसा भी चल रहा है, लेकिन हम लोगों का धंधा भी मार खा रहा है ओला उबर की वजह से।
Is this a move to woo the local cab drivers who were threatening to strike? Or will this leave citizens who are currently struggling with traffic and rain and bad public transport, will this leave citizens in the lurch?
बॉम्बे के बाहर MMRD के बाहर ओला उबेर हटाओ, नहीं हटेंगे तो हम लोग आने वाले दिन में मुख्यमंत्री साहब ने बोल दिया है कि हम लोग कड़क कार्रवाई किया जाएगा।
आई डोंट थिंक दीज थ्रेट्स नीड टू बी गिवन बाय जय भगवान टैक्सी यूनियन। मैं आपसे फिर से कहती हूँ कि चीफ मिनिस्टर और ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर इसके ऊपर विचार विमर्श करेंगे और एक सोल्यूशन डेफिनेटली आएगा। तो थ्रेटनिंग और स्ट्राइक ये आई डोंट थिंक आर द राइट मैकेनिज्म्स, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली ऑल वन हैज़ टू लुक एट इट फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दैट हु इज़ द सफरर।
When taxis and autos go on strike, जब आप लोग स्ट्राइक पे जाते हो तो तभी सिटीजन के पास और कोई चारा नहीं रहता, उबर बुलाते और वो जो आपका जो sympathy है, वो जो sympathy
I will not agree with you. The whole thing is very simple. First, when we struck, they agreed to frame the policies. October, they had called in for suggestion objections. I feel from October till today, almost a year is passing off. This much time is enough for the government.
And in your opinion, nothing has been done?
Nothing has been done. When we again struck on February the 15th, the new Transport Commissioner, Mr. Vardhane, had come in. He told, okay, we are on the process. What we hear, this proposal has been discussed last week in the cabinet.
Yes.
We are still hopeful that they will come up with some policy.
I waited at railway stations for hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, because none of the auto drivers or the cabs are ready to take me because I have to go a short distance. But after the Uber has come in, the life has become so convenient that even if I am like at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, wherever I am, a taxi is available to me. I just have to book it through my app.
The challenge that all governments are having is that you have had so far a fairly regulated taxi system. Don't forget that taxi is part of urban transportation and is deemed to be like a local train, like the buses, a public utility. Now, to have Uber being totally unregulated is also a matter that needs to be looked into.
There is the issue of technology and pricing. I think Uber or Ola, they all have a modern technology, and I don't see it is not a great rocket science. This could be applicable or available to all the Kali-Pili taxis also.
After getting assurance from the state government, now the taxi strike that was supposed to happen on Tuesday has now been called off. We understand that the taxi union has postponed the strike to 8 days from now. In the meantime, they say that the government has to act and in fact regulate online cab aggregators. Also in the works is City Taxi Scheme 2015 by the state government, which plans to bring in some regulation in the entire system. We also learned that might get passed in the monsoon session. We'll keep a very, very close watch on that and bring you regular updates. Moving on to a story that we've been tracking very closely here on Magic Bricks. Now, do not expect the odd-even scheme in Mumbai for the next 3 months. The city municipality BMC has postponed the decision to bring in the odd-even rule in Mumbai and has invited suggestions and objections from the citizens in the meantime. Now, my colleague Disha Shah, who broke the news first here about the odd-even scheme being implemented in Mumbai, gets us these exclusive details.
Yes, that's right. Do not expect the odd-even scheme in Mumbai for another 3 months. This is what BMC officials told Magic Bricks. Now, in fact, the reason that they tell us is that they are still awaiting a final nod from the state government on the proposal that the civic body had sent in the first week of July this year. In fact, officials also told Magic Bricks now that this is for the first time that they are going to invite suggestions and objections from the citizens of Mumbai on the odd-even scheme in Mumbai as to whether to implement this scheme, as to whether this plan will be successful in Mumbai or not. These will be the suggestions and objections that citizens will have to send to the BMC, is what BMC officials told us. In fact, let's not forget that Magic Bricks now was the first one to get you those details as to where BMC is planning to implement the odd-even scheme in Mumbai. When we spoke to BMC officials, they told us as the timeline is not decided as to when they will start inviting suggestions and objections, but they told us that this will happen anytime within the next 3 months. So let's understand how this will work, or if this scheme gets implemented on ground. Firstly, this scheme will define on which particular day you can drive your car. For instance, on an even date, the license plates ending with an even number will be allowed on the streets, and on an odd date, the license plates ending with an odd number will be allowed on the streets. In fact, this will be applicable only on the private owned 4 vehicles and not on the public transports like the auto rickshaws, the taxis, the buses, and also on the emergency vehicles like the PCR vans, the ambulances. This won't be applicable on such cases. In fact, this will be effective throughout the week from 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the night, and whoever violates this particular rule will be penalized with a hefty fine of 3,000 rupees. And lastly, officials also told us that women will be exempted from this particular scheme, and they can drive on any particular day as they can. So of course we will keep a very close eye on this particular development here at Magic Bricks now.
3 more months there for the odd-even scheme to be implemented in Mumbai. But what do the citizens think about the scheme? Mumbaikars who've been fighting bumper-to-bumper traffic this monsoon are divided about implementing odd-even in Mumbai. Listen in.
Something which was crucially required in the city where your Kali, Pilis and the autos are not ready to ply at any given point of time. They have all sort of excuses, and when especially in the peak hours, when no mode of transports were available.
Looking at the traffic situation, I don't think so it's really going to help, because it's going to create a lot of problems, further problems for people, because it was implemented in Delhi. And I think it was not too successful in Delhi, because the final, the guy who's on the road knows how difficult it is. Even if you are sharing a cab with someone, or even if you're taking your car out on an odd or even day, it's very difficult when you go for pooling, etc.
Odd even will not work here in Mumbai. No, you cannot just restrict the people. Rather than, I would feel the one should concentrate on or focused on road conditions, infrastructure facility, or local transport system. They should improve.
No, I'm not with it.
So the odd even scheme?
I'm not with it. My views are absolutely against that.
Why that?
I don't know, because everybody would like to take their car to go every day to their work and areas, and if you're just streamlining Uber and Ola, then I think a lot of private cars would automatically go off. So why should we implement odd and even and again privatize on this? So I think it's better.
Depends actually, because the number of cars in Bombay are also extremely high, so it might just reduce the traffic in Bombay.
Meanwhile, here on Magic Bricks Now, our campaign against project delays continues. Pune-based Kumar Builders faces the heat from buyers who've been waiting for their homes for over 3 years now. Buyers now say enough is enough and ask for police action. Listen in.
देखिए, हम दिसंबर 2013 से फॉलोअप कर रहे बिल्डर के साथ कि हमें पोजीशन कब मिलेगा. हर बार बिल्डर से कुछ फेक कमिटमेंट्स आता था, 3 महीने में करेंगे, 6 महीने में करेंगे, कुछ ये प्रॉब्लम्स, ऐसे कुछ तो रीजंस बता के वो टाल देता था. अभी तक हमें कोई पोजीशन मिला नहीं है. हमने अभी पूरा पेमेंट कर दिया है, 100% पेमेंट हो गया है, बट पोजीशन का कुछ नाम पता है ही नहीं.
11 is the year where people has booked, promised different dates, but this is 2016 halfway. July is there, means 7 months passed. Another 6 months, 2016 is going to end. So what happened to the builders, to the persons who didn't get any tax benefit, staying in a rented house, paying rent, paying EMI?
Now, in another innovative form of protest, Shiv Sena workers in Pune presented the city mayor Prashant Jagtap with 1,200 roses. Now, the Shiv Sena claims that the roads in Pune are in bad condition. We caught up with Mahadev Babbar, ex-MLA and Shiv Sena leader. Listen in to what he had to say.
इसके पीछे एक ही मकसद है. शिवसेना हमेशा पुणेकर नागरिक इनके साथ रही है. जब भी कोई सुनता नहीं है, उसके पास से काम करने की जिम्मेदारी ये शिवसेना पुणे शहर में निभाती है. इसलिए जो 8 दिन पहले जो बारिश गिर गया था, वो बारिश के अंदर कम से कम 12,000 खड्डे पूरे पुणे के अंदर है. खास करके जो आउटकट है उस इलाके में भी काफ़ी खड्डे हैं। ये लोग ने, प्रशासन ने कल प्रेस नोट निकाल कर दावा किया है कि हमने 1200 खड्डा पुणे शहर का बंद कर दिया है, लेकिन पूरे 12,000 खड्डे यहाँ पर अभी भी बैलेंस है। वो कब बुझाते, ये पहली बात। दूसरी बात, जो हम किया है उसका स्ट्रक्चर ऑडिट होना चाहिए, उसका विजिलेंस मार्फत चौकसी होना चाहिए, और जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर दोषी है उसको जेल के अंदर डालना चाहिए, उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई करना चाहिए।
Now, we also caught up with Pune Mayor Prashant Jagtap, and he, on the other hand, says that the roads in Pune are in fact in a good condition. Listen in.
गड्ढों के बारे में जो चर्चा हो रही है वो सिर्फ पॉलिटिक्स है। शायद मुंबई के गड्ढों के बारे में शिवसेना काफ़ी अड़चन में आई है, इसीलिए पूना और बाकी सारे सिटीज़ में ऐसे मुद्दे उछालकर शिवसेना कुछ अलग दिखाने की बात कर रही है। लेकिन पूना में ऐसी हालत नहीं है। पूना में मैं एज ए मेयर ये ज़रूर बोलना चाहूँगा, महाराष्ट्र या भारत की जो भी सिटी है उसमें पूना के जो भी सारे जो रोड्स है वो काफ़ी अच्छी हालत में। ज़रूर जो 8-10 दिन की ज़्यादा की बरसात हुई उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम आए, लेकिन मैंने प्रशासन को जो सूचनाएं दी थी उस हिसाब से सारे काम किए गए हैं, और भी थोड़ा कुछ काम बचा रहेगा तो ज़रूर वो काम अगले कुछ दिनों में पूरे किए जाएंगे।
Meanwhile, Housing for All by 2020, the Prime Minister's pet project, has had a very slow start. Only 19,000 affordable homes have been constructed till date under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana over the last year. Remember, the Housing for All project has a target of 6 crore housing units to be built before 2020. Deepa Rana gets us an update on what is marring the progress.
The government launched its ambitious project Housing for All mission by 2022 and also estimated to address shortage of over 20 million housing units all across the country. It seems that the first year has not been good in terms of achievements. If we talk about government data, over 860 projects along with 7.28 lakh housing units have been approved by the Housing Ministry till July this year. But till now, only 19,300 housing units have been constructed so far. In fact, out of the 7.28 lakh houses, only 1 lakh houses are under construction for the urban poor along with the economically weaker sections. If we talk about particular states, then in Maharashtra, Punjab, Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, no construction of these houses which fall under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or the PMAY have been constructed so far. In fact, on the other hand, there are states like Karnataka where 4,333 housing units have been built so far. If we talk about Rajasthan, there are about 3,627 units that have been built. If we talk about UP, there are about 2,000 units that have been built. If we talk about Gujarat, there are again 2,160 housing units that have been built so far. But there are states like Assam, Manipur, as well as union territories like Delhi, Goa, Lakshadweep, where the housing projects have also not been approved by the Housing Ministry till now.
Away from all that news, shifting focus to Mumbai after the other scam. Residents of Mumbai's posh Versova locality are the latest to bear the brunt of the High Court's ire against illegal construction. Aram Nagar, home to actors, models and industrialists, in fact, may soon be demolished. The residents, meanwhile, are up in arms. Suesha Sawant gets us a ground report.
Partially demolished homes like these are increasingly becoming a common sight in Aram Nagar, a Mahada-owned 40-acre plot in Versova, home to actors and industrialists. Unauthorized extensions have forced the BMC to crack the whip on this 357 bungalow colony, a move that predictably has not gone down well with residents. Having lived here for more than 50 years, these residents are now facing an uncertain future.
I have been living here right from 1952. Now my age is 87 years. I got a family, my wife is 80 years. During the time of demolition, I had to bring her out physically. I want to, during the part of my remaining years, I am already 87. Remaining part of life, I want to survive and stay here for a long time, till my end.
Our managing committee, which is representing us, is illegal by itself. They have not taken the election. They are all jinxed and joined by the builder and the authorities, semi-authorities of the government.
The unauthorized structures which the PIL says Aram Nagar has,
that is based on documents which are maps or plans filed in BMC by RNA, made through its own architect, Space Molders.
Aram Nagar was earmarked by the Maharashtrian government to house refugees of the partition. Over 3 generations of these families have lived here. While Versova has transformed from boondocks to a Tony enclave, residents of Aram Nagar still pay rents ranging from 90 to 150 rupees. What's more residents have leased out their residential property for commercial use. A public interest litigation in 2015 filed by Mahmood Sheikh of the NGO Disha saw the High Court order BMC to raise illegal structures in the area.
मेरा तो इशू यही था कि जब इनको आपने 7-8 साल से नोटिस दे के रखा है और उनका 500 स्क्वायर फीट से 5000 स्क्वायर फीट पे इंक्रोचमेंट है, नियर अबाउट 4000 एडिशनल इंक्रोचमेंट है, एक्सटेंशन अल्ट्रेशन है, चेंज ऑफ यूज़र है, कमर्शियल है, रेसिडेंशियल दूसरा कमर्शियल किया है, तो ये कार्रवाई होना चाहिए।
जो अनाधिकृत है वो अनाधिकृत है, बराबर बात है, लेकिन आज देखा आदर्श बिल्डिंग बन गई तो वो भी अनाधिकृत है, लेकिन कोर्ट ने क्या निर्णय दिया कि उसको डिमोलेशन मत करो, कब्जे में ले लो या उसके ऊपर कुछ तो रेवेन्यू बढ़ाने का करो, और उसके बाद एक ऐसा सर्टन पीरियड आ गए कि अभी नहीं होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए, वो करो।
Some residents have managed to get the court to stay demolition on their homes. For the rest, it is a matter of when the bulldozer will come home.
When Magic Bricks Now reached out to the BMC, they said that out of 354 structures, 280 have been issued notices. The demolition is on and they are following the process as per the High Court orders. This is Suesha Sawant for Magic Bricks Now.
With that, we've completely run out of time here on the property news on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.